Sarah Connor is back, and she brought her son John to give him a special gift. She's getting him his very own cleaning machine. The Terminator. The machine goes online and arises from the primordial ooze. John is so excited to be getting his very own cleaning machine. It shakes Sarah's hand awkwardly, then slowly embraces John. And John quickly lets go once the novelty wears off. John immediately becomes a brat and starts ordering his new machine around, but it is barely put together yet, so its skills are limited. The machine says it needs to be built up more to start doing its good work, and it wishes to transform into a real boy. John is upset by the fact that some assembly will be required. The Terminator gets woozy, so John helps set it down and walks away. He's becoming disappointed in the machine's capabilities. They wish for something else to pop up and help in their mission to clean up this city from pollution, instead of this half-made abomination. They see another being form in the ooze, which is quite horrifying to witness it figure out its shape, and as it cries out. Eventually it jumps up, choosing the wrong shape first. Luckily, the other machine is there to fix it with its special equipment. The Terminator goes away to let the T-1000 have its time with John now, feeling rejected already. It did not like getting fixed by that machine, and asked for a software check to ensure it's functioning properly. So it opens up its ports and has Sarah use her own special equipment to suck them out and check those files later at Cyberdyne. The Terminator sets its equipment down, and then for some reason locks itself in place. I guess it is actually jealous of the T-1000 trying to steal its thunder. It even goes offline to keep itself there. The T-1000 finds the machine offline. It helps zap it to life, and it pulls the bar out of it, so it can get back to work doing what it was made to do. The Terminator gives up on trying to reach for the special equipment, feeling shame that this other machine is already doing such great work. The T-1000 feels sorry for how little the Terminator can do, and uses this big piece of iron to smash its face back together. The T-1000 lays the machine on the ground and hops away. The Terminator follows it up. The T-1000 puts the bar inside of itself for some random reason. Filling some kind of void, maybe? The Terminator wants that bar, so the T-1000 opens up and lets it have it. In all of that hectic action, the T-1000 accidentally stabs Sarah with its finger. Feeling like it now needs to kill the only living witness, it points the other finger at her. It then starts to feel bad and realizes killing her is unnecessary. It tells her that it'll just pull it out and heal her, but not to get mad about what had just happened. It pulls out its finger, healing her like it said it would, but she's still pissed off. It opens up a hole in its head to do another software check, and she sucks it into her magnetic equipment. The Terminator kneels down to allow its stub to magnetically attach itself to a full arm, making some adjustments with the bar. The T-1000 finds the Terminator stuck in the gears, showing it a reflection so it can see how ridiculous it looks. The gears unwind and its arm becomes free. Then the T-1000 immediately pulls it to safety, but with too much power it accidentally throws it into the walls. Then it takes the Terminator's hand and morphs it into its face as a funny joke. The Terminator is immediately grossed out and pulls its hand away. The T-1000 goes against the wall and turns the other way, maybe trying to get some kinky action going. The Terminator is pissed by these advances and throws it into the walls repeatedly. Even tries downgrading its software, but the T-1000 vanishes. The machine slowly backs away. John and Sarah find the Terminator. John immediately yells at it for running away. The Terminator yells back. John doesn't like being yelled at by something he considers his property. The T-1000 sees they are picking up pace, and decides to camouflage itself to try and hide from these crazy people. The machine uses one of its special bullets to put the T-1000 back together, because it's had enough of its hide-and-seek games. It then says,
Haha, I found you.
as a sarcastic insult. The Terminator realizes it didn't finish putting the T-1000 back together fully, and lays down in shame. The T-1000 comes out of pause mode and sees that it is not complete, so it starts piecing itself back together. As the Terminator lays on the ground, like a whiny bitch, but then rolls and hops on top to make it seem like it did something useful. John fixes the truck and drives towards the action, yelling about his property that is getting away from him. It then helps flip the truck over, so they can get away more conveniently. Then fixes the T-1000 shot by shot, but then remembers his sexual advances, and decides to join the spoiled brat and his enabling mother again. Then begins to show its environmentalist skills by sucking up fire and smoke. The Terminator hops back in the truck. John is disappointed that he can't drive anymore. Terminator tells him, too bad. The T-1000 decides to build a fort on the back of the truck for John to play in, to distract him from pursuing it. But he does not give up. John acts like a little douche, and takes off the cloth from his own mother's bleeding leg. Is he really that upset that they are losing another cleaning product? The Terminator, Sarah, and John decide to leave this truck here and fix up this other truck as a means of continuing their humanitarian efforts. The T-1000 helps a dead man get better, then gives him its truck. The other three fix up their truck, while the T-1000 fixes a helicopter so it can fly. It then heals Sarah's leg, because it is happy with flight. She thinks this truck is a mess, and starts putting things back where they belong. Even though her own son is cold, she takes away his blanket. The T-1000 decides to give an aspiring pilot this fresh new helicopter. What a carrying machine it is. It's still freaking the new pilot out though. He's never seen this technology before. It decides its best course of action is to grab a motorcycle and fly through the window. They rush into the pollution-filled room and hide in an elevator as the Terminator decides to share the truck with these aspiring environmentalist officers. It fixes the glass windows and doors as the officers jump for joy. The Terminator puts the keys back for the next driver. It sees a man choking on the pollution in this area and gives him a gas mask so he can breathe. And then another guy too. It's proving its worth since being fixed up. It sees everyone having trouble breathing, so it sucks up all the pollution in its equipment, saving so many men in blue. This machine is a damn hero. The Terminator then helps all these poor environmentalist officers suffocating in this enclosed area, so it sucks up all the pollution, while healing their injuries. They then return the favor by healing its broken skin, making it look more like a real boy. The T-1000 decides to leave, because this mess is too much for it to handle. The Terminator, on the other hand, decides to take this challenge to heart, and helps suck up the fire and smoke in this building. Such a great first day on the job. This guy, Miles Dyson, is so shocked to be alive that he starts to hyperventilate with excitement. The Terminator and his team gets to work fixing up the destruction in this building by sucking up this fire and fixing this wall. Damn, this thing is good. Sarah then insults the machine, thinking the hole in the wall should have stayed. So it takes her, sets her in another room, and locks her in. Sarah then meets Miles Dyson. Miles is clearly tired from all the workouts he has been doing, setting his weights down. As the cops leave, they fix up Miles, getting rid of those holes in his body. The Terminator drops off John and goes to work elsewhere. The Terminator gets to work fixing police cars by sucking in all the smoke and fire. It then changes to some bigger equipment to fix minor details in the cars and landscaping, making them look pristine and new. As it leaves, it sucks up a desk to make the office more functional. The Terminator tells everyone how awesome it is. John disagrees, because he's a brat. Miles locks up before they leave. Miles tells the team to take a seat and stay for a drink, He asks them if they could kindly fix his arm before they leave. The Terminator holds up its mechanical hand, telling Miles that they will fix him, but that he should watch it fix itself first. The machine puts the flesh on its arm and heals the cuts to make itself look even more like a real boy. The machine, for some reason, tells Mrs. Dyson to stop holding her husband's wound, and to just let it heal naturally. Miles is in a lot of pain and hoping that she would just do it already. She yells at him for telling her to go faster. They all start getting up and leaving the room, thinking she won't do it, but then does. She then fixes up the place as she leaves. She fixes his computer, and he gets back to work. John runs towards the machine from the truck, yelling at it for getting ahead of him. The machine gets down to John's level as to not be too imposing on the little brat. The machine doesn't like this, but John has a knife, so it puts up with his shit. Sarah is immediately pissed that John messed up the table by putting his knife in it. For some reason, he wrote "Fate No" on the table. Clearly not doing well in school. She then fixes her son's graffiti. John and the Terminator smile at each other, thinking that these people will enjoy all this new cleaning equipment. Though the Terminator is sad to see this piece go. They then take turns spitting in a bottle before leaving, as is the custom around here. John gets in the car and watches as Sarah builds a sandwich with her mouth. They decide to make their cleaning process easier by having the car suck in some pollution as they travel. The Terminator's making this world a better place one step at a time. John shows the machine the keys that he neglected to use the whole time. He puts it up to be used later, as the machine fixes the car. They start fixing the Terminator's back from imperfections. It then starts going off about cleaning products, motorcycles, and some other things that don't make sense. The machine then starts being a douche to Sarah by removing stitches from her back from a previous injury. This thing is all over the place with its usefulness. The Terminator drives towards the hospital. John's upset that he's going to be saying goodbye to his mom for a while, because this trip has been really hard on her, and she needs an actual bed. The T-1000 just happens to be here already, and sees the car coming. It separates a part of itself to keep track of their location so it can avoid them. The T-1000 lays down, rolls on the ground, and hops up onto the car, right as the Terminator decides to upgrade the T-1000's software some more. The T-1000 thanks it by fixing the window on this car. It then crawls off and then runs away as they drive directly towards it, fixing up all the software bugs this machine is having. The T-1000's not liking all of these uncalled for software updates, so it slides up into the elevator to escape. It climbs out onto the main floor, knowing that it's going to get an update whether it wants one or not, so it opens its face up to receive the update. It then closes the door on them and runs away from all of these updates. They then see it goes through the metal door, where they can't follow. The Terminator sets Sarah down, as the sleepiness is starting to settle in. It puts its glasses on crooked, then helps the lady up by her face. She thanks it by fixing the glasses. Then it helps a man off the floor, accidentally hitting his face along the way. It then uses these guys to fix broken windows. It then walks away to let Sarah rest. The doctors give up and let Sarah run off. John and the Terminator leave, repairing a window, closing the gate, and fixing a guy's leg holes. He's thankful for having less holes. The T-1000 decides it doesn't like this look at the moment, so grows a mustache and puts on some weight. The T-1000 finds another guy who looks just like it does, so it fixes his eye, his coffee, and walks away to slowly blend into the floor, avoiding awkward situations. Sarah wants to ensure nothing messes with her sleep, so she uses her kinky arm ties and locks herself into bed. Then, this douchebag unlocks the door, comes in her room, licks her face, and then unties her. She's never going to get the rest she needs. The Terminator pulls out its gun and gives it to John. which doesn't seem like a smart move. Two guys rush in wanting to be fixed. The machine starts off with fixing the car, then fixes this guy's broken hand. It tries to fix this guy's haircut, but there is no fixing that. They then tell him the bad news about his haircut. They then get mad and leave. He then lays down and tells the machine to pick him up, so it does. But he yells at it because it wasn't as cool as it could have been. The machine tells him to stop yelling about such trivial nonsense. The Terminator lets him go and tells him that it's getting pretty damn annoyed with him. If he doesn't change his behavior, it'll leave. The T-1000 becomes a woman to try it out for a little while. It then thinks that the man on the floor would be better suited being alive than a corpse, so it sticks its sword hand through its face to fix the hole, and then calls John, revealing that they are the new family he will be spending his time with. The Terminator asks if they have a dog for John to play with. The T-1000 tells it that they do in fact have a dog. The Terminator confirms with John that they do have a dog. The T-1000 asks a question about food, and the Terminator gives the phone to John to answer himself. It mentions it's making stew. And the foster dad, now alive, already doesn't want to have another mouth to feed. John definitely overheard that, and now the stepdad is yelling about the dog. This guy does not want responsibilities beyond his wife. John already seems to be done with his family, though the T-1000 does its best to get John into this house. John, you should totally come here to eat my stew. You will be really happy. He's immediately worried, as this sounds cultish. The T-1000 decides that he'll be fine and come here when he needs to rest, so hangs up and puts away the stew. The Terminator then takes the quarter, puts it in with the rest, and fixes the phone booth. John decides that even though he doesn't like the cultist mentality, he needs a place to sleep, so he'll go there later when he's ready. The T-1000 heads into the flaming wreck to fix the truck. John and the Terminator, not knowing this, end up at the same location, and help fix the truck as well. They are accidentally working as a team. They then find the bike and give it to John. It then drives away after doing a good job, while the T-1000 works really hard in fixing the truck, even giving it a roof. John stops to watch the T-1000 fix up the broken bridge, which was awesome. The T-1000 fixes cars as it also heads to the mall. The T-1000 gives the truck to a poor old man who is laying in the road. It then runs straight to the mall in a fun race with John. The Terminator rushes to lay on the ground, enjoying the mall life. The T-1000 then rushes in to help it up and fixing the window, as a proper cleaner would. It lays the machine down there, then walks away. The Terminator, now furious, said like the first spot better. They then fight through the walls like gentlemen. The T-1000 becomes submissive and opens up its ports for the Terminator to do its updates, which is just becoming way more sexual now at this point. The Terminator then takes out the coding imperfections. The T-1000 even does its part to return the favor and makes the Terminator look more like a real boy. During this process, the Terminator decides that it's safe enough for John to participate and brings him out, which John screams with excitement. The Terminator then throws John on the ground while it does another update for the T-1000. It does this just before John jumps up like a moron. The Terminator calls him an idiot. Then John tries to leave this situation, not knowing which way to go, but decides against the name-calling Terminator, hoping to find a new parental figure with the T-1000. John rushes in to find his new daddy, but gets distracted and starts playing games. John just continues to play games as the T-1000 and the Terminator get bored of the mall life and decide to leave. The doctor does what he can to keep Sarah awake in these sleep deprivation experiments. They hold her down as she freaks out about her lack of sleep. They start running out as he runs in. She chokes him, but then more people start leaving as the drugs kick in. She calms down and sits still. They decide they're going to show her how messed up things are going to be by showing her a tape of herself from the future. This tape shows her how crazy she will get. She just smokes her cigarette and accepts her dark fate. John shows up with his new friend to meet his foster parents. The dad is already outside and already pissed. John says, "You're mine now, bitch." He accepts his new place as the bitch and goes inside. The T-1000 looks up all of John's information, kind of missing the kid, while feeling that no amount of upgrades and mess cleanups will ever be enough. So it gives its clothes to a dead guy, brings him back to life, and walks away, ready to give in to the urges it has felt throughout the entire film, by joining the homeless nudist community, which gets hot and heavy immediately and creates some major shocks. The Terminator decides it wants to try drinking for the first time. It's immediately causing trouble once it drinks. It's already nude, it's giving away its property, but then it starts helping poor guys stab the tables, people with their grill burns, and then it even gets thanked by taking a burn out of its now perfect skin. It is now a real boy. Then it slowly walks away, having achieved enlightenment due to its good deeds. It takes a superhero pose and becomes one with the universe. The fire fades to show a future John, actually changing his ways and becoming a humanitarian that the other characters would have been proud of. That was unexpected. I thought he would have become a douchebag. The Terminators are being fixed by the humans, working with the machines to fix each other up so they can fix the torn apart planet together. Not sure how it got torn apart, but at least teamwork is involved in putting it back together. Even this Terminator is fixing skulls. This place is a shithole. Somebody wasn't doing a great job cleaning up in the past. Maybe the politicians? Most likely.
Thank you for watching. If you want to see an extended cut of the video you just watched, then perhaps you would consider contributing to the Vidiot Override Patreon page. You can view this extended episode with 25 minutes of extra content, as well as having a credit at the end of future episodes as a thank you for becoming a patron. These extended cuts will also come out earlier than the videos on the YouTube page, so you'll be able to enjoy longer versions much earlier than everyone else. Also, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe to stay up to date on future content. Comment with suggestions for future episodes, and don't forget to share with your friends. Thanks again, and see you next time.